It's getting crazy hot in China this year. Just how hot? Take a look at this.
我操！这是玉米啊！啊！看什么啊？
这个考你是干嘛的？我的天呀，关键。
哎，赶紧下去吧，下去吧，快点跳！你不知道家里边多热，这都烫手拿不住。我靠，化了！
刚拉完屎，我到了10张纸，9张擦汗，1张擦屎。
哎呦我的妈！
看着被晒，都晒头了。这天得多热啊！
没想到吧？这我也没想到。
哎呀，完蛋完蛋完蛋！完蛋，增加34码了。
外面那么大的太阳，
要出门玩。
哇！我的烫脚！
呀，太热了！
Since the start of July, many regions across China have issued high temperature warnings, with large areas of the country turning bright red on the weather map. What's even more alarming is that the scorching heat in the Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Shanghai region is steadily spreading inland. In East China, temperatures could soon surpass 40 degrees Celsius. The ground temperature has exceeded 50 degrees, with relative humidity between 60% and 80%. The combination of extreme heat and high humidity has turned the environment into a suffocating steam room, subjecting residents in many regions to an unbearable test and severely affecting daily life and work. On July 5th, in Yantai, Shandong Province, the intense heat caused a student at a university dormitory to be carried away by ambulance. It was later revealed that the dormitory building had no air conditioning, only an old, weak fan with limited airflow. Students said the only way they could cool down was by taking frequent cold showers. Because of the unbearable heat, many students would escape to nearby air-conditioned supermarkets and stay there until 9 p.m., only returning to their dormitories just before the doors closed for the night. On the same day, at a music festival in Weifang, Shandong, the combination of a large crowd and extreme heat led to several audience members suffering from heat stroke shortly after the event began. The affected spectators were quickly carried away by medical staff and sent to the hospital for treatment. Not long into the event, in an effort to help cool people down, firefighters were dispatched to the scene to spray water over the crowd. Even more shocking, a driver was on the road when, due to the extreme heat, the pavement suddenly cracked open right in front of him. The entire scene was captured by his dashboard camera. This wasn't a scene from a movie. It happened on an ordinary road in a small town in Henan. The sight of debris flying everywhere truly gave the driver a serious fright. This kind of incident, where intense heat causes the ground to physically expand and rupture, is extremely rare. It's a clear sign of just how unbearably hot it was at the time. Fortunately, no one was injured in the incident. Another TikTok creator shared that he had only parked his car by the roadside for a short while, and to his shock, the asphalt had melted, causing the supporting metal block to sink and leave a hole in the road. In another shocking incident, a resident found that the 4 metal blades of the old tin fan in their home had completely warped and curled under the extreme heat. One young man complained that he was on the verge of losing his mind. "I left home looking like a human, came back looking like a panda." This heatwave is unlike anything in previous years. In the past, scorching weather typically struck China's central and eastern regions, but this time, the intense heat has swept across not only central, eastern, and southern China, but even the usually cooler northern regions. In China's northernmost city, Mohe, temperatures have consecutively soared past 35 degrees Celsius, with ground temperatures climbing to a staggering 65 degrees Celsius. When meteorologists analyzed historical data, they discovered several unusual patterns. This year's heatwave arrived about half a month earlier than usual, the peak temperatures were higher than in previous years, and the scope and persistence of this extreme heat hadn't been seen since 1970, a full 55 years ago. College dormitories have become some of the hardest hit areas. In China's northeast, dorm buildings were originally designed with thick walls for insulation against harsh winters, but now, once the hot air gets inside, it stubbornly lingers. The heat from dozens of students breathing in confined rooms only pushes the temperature higher. With 4 to 8 people crammed into a tiny dorm room, it's turned into a literal steamer. To cope, students have gotten creative. Some sleep directly on the dorm floor, others carry their sleeping mats into hallways. Groups sneak off to fast food restaurants to enjoy the air conditioning. The cleverest ones pitch tents on the school field, armed with mosquito repellent and ready for guerrilla warfare against bugs. Rubbing down with alcohol, setting up water basins for cooling, and riding city buses for the AC. A promotional video from a university in Harbin, China, showcasing its dormitory air conditioners went viral on social media. During the 2025 college entrance exam application period, which happened to coincide with an unusual heatwave in northeast China, the admissions office of Harbin Institute of Technology seized the opportunity. For 2 consecutive days, the university's official Weibo account posted videos highlighting rows of air conditioner units neatly mounted on the dormitory exterior walls. The caption struck a nerve. Turns out the real admissions office is hidden in the dormitory buildings. Another post read, "Comfortable hit. How could you not love it?" The comment section was instantly flooded with envious reactions, and the hashtag Harbin Institute of Technology dormitories offer free double air conditioning shot up the trending list. Many netizens joked, with this setup, it's basically an admissions ad disguised as a dorm tour. Meanwhile, inquiries to other universities painted a very different picture. At one university, a staff member responded to a prospective student's question about air conditioning by saying, "There's no air conditioning in the student dorms. We suggest bringing your own small fan." As HIT students enjoyed cool, air-conditioned rooms, other schools' heat relief measures sparked controversy. Just across the street from HIT, Heilongjiang Oriental College came under fire for its makeshift solutions. The school's dormitory supervisors and counselors advised students to switch to summer blankets and use ice cubes for cooling. At 2 a.m., inside one of HIT's dormitory buildings, a drowsy student reached out to check their phone. The screen displayed the room's temperature, 26 degrees. The student took a sip of water and glanced out the window to see rows of air conditioning units blinking their indicator lights in the darkness, resembling a constellation of tiny stars. Meanwhile, just a block away on the outdoor sports field of Heilongjiang Oriental College, dozens of phone screens flickered in the dark. It was the only relief for university students lying on mats on the rubber track, unable to sleep from the heat, endlessly scrolling on their phones to pass the sweltering night. One blogger posted a video online where she held a frying pan and cracked an egg onto it outdoors, using the heat radiating from the ground to fry the egg on the spot, just to show how unbearably hot it was in her area. Forget about how hot it is in Henan or Shandong. Come see just how scorching it is here in Anhui. You could literally fry a big egg under the sun. Just listen to that sizzling sound. Oh wow, don't go on saying Henan is hot or Shandong is hot. Anhui is the real deal when it comes to heat. Look at this egg frying, it smells amazing. Just look at what the egg has turned into. It's practically become a non-stick pan. Look how perfectly it's cooking. Look at that. Anyone want a bite? Oh boy, the egg looks great. The oil is even bubbling. Look how hot it is. The egg's cooked through. A TikTok user posted a video to show how crazy hot it is in Henan. This summer, even the stars performing at concerts couldn't escape the relentless heat wave. JJ Lin, Li Ronghao, Charlie Puth, and other artists touring across China were met with sweltering conditions. The stage lights were already scorching, and with outdoor temperatures soaring over 40 degrees C, the venues turned into giant saunas. The audience was drenched in sweat, while the singers had to constantly wipe their faces and grab water to cool down. During his set, Charlie Puth kept shaking his t-shirt to beat the heat. Meanwhile, down in the crowd, the fan signs originally meant to cheer on their idols had all been repurposed as makeshift fans. Due to the scorching weather, meteorological stations across many parts of China have continuously issued high-temperature red alerts. In China, high-temperature alerts are divided into 3 levels: yellow, orange, and red. A yellow alert is issued when the daily maximum temperature reaches or exceeds 35 degrees C for 3 consecutive days. An orange alert is issued when the maximum temperature is expected to reach or exceed 37 degrees within the next 24 hours, or remain above 37 degrees for 3 consecutive days. A red alert is the highest level, indicating that the maximum temperature will reach or exceed 40 degrees within the next 24 hours. While most regions follow the national meteorological standards, some areas prone to extreme heat may adjust their thresholds and preventive measures accordingly. When a yellow alert is issued, the China Meteorological Administration advises the public to minimize outdoor activities during peak heat hours, stay hydrated, and take precautions against heat stroke to ensure personal health and safety. And it's worth noting, it is still in mid-July. It's very likely that new record-breaking temperatures will be set. According to the latest forecast from China's Meteorological Administration, the area of regions experiencing temperatures above 40 degrees C in central and eastern China will continue to expand next week, as a persistent subtropical high-pressure system remains in control. In particular, Henan province is expected to be hit the hardest, with many areas forecast to endure consecutive days of extreme heat above 40 degrees. What's worse, the temperature difference between day and night will be minimal, with nighttime lows still hovering around 30 degrees, creating an unrelenting round-the-clock heatwave pattern. This prolonged period of extreme heat and humidity is expected to pose serious challenges to public health, agricultural production, power supply, and transportation safety. A blogger pointed out in a video that the temperature we actually feel is often much higher than what the weather forecast shows. That's because official measurements are taken on open, grassy, and well-ventilated fields, nothing like the heat trapped in crowded cities. In reality, factors like the urban heat island effect, direct sun exposure, and humidity can push the feels-like temperature 1 to 10 degrees higher than the forecast. For example, when the forecast says 39 degrees C, every 10% increase in humidity adds 1 degree C, open sun exposure adds another 2 to 10 degrees, and crowded areas or physical labor can raise it even further. Once the body feels over 40 degrees, there's a risk of heat stroke, and above 46 degrees, it can be deadly within an hour. Every year, many people lose their lives to heat-related illnesses, most commonly heat stroke. As for why weather forecasts don't report exact city-street temperatures, it's because urban temperature differences are huge, with places like indoors and sun-baked roads differing by over 20 degrees C. That's why the number you see in the forecast is rarely what your body's actually dealing with. And this extreme heat puts an even greater strain on manual laborers. Just recently, a 37-year-old food delivery worker tragically died from heat stroke while on the job. A blogger reminded everyone to take care of themselves in such hot weather. Otherwise, it's very easy to suffer from heat-related illnesses. Even more frightening than the extreme heat itself is heat stroke, often described as the most severe and dangerous form of heat-related illness. When a person suffers from heat stroke, their body essentially turns into an out-of-control oven, with internal organs feeling as though they're being boiled by scalding water. The patient's core temperature can rapidly soar to 40 degrees C or higher, causing irreversible damage to cells. The mortality rate for heat stroke is alarmingly high, reaching up to 20 to 30%, and in severe cases, it can claim a life within just 24 hours. Treating heat stroke is extremely difficult, often compared to the near-impossible task of turning cooked meat back into raw. If you encounter someone showing signs of heat stroke, it's crucial to act immediately. Remove excess clothing and continuously cool the body by spraying or wiping with cold water. If the patient is still conscious, have them drink ice water or a light saline solution to help lower their temperature. If symptoms do not improve, seek medical attention immediately. So why has it been so scorching hot in China this year? One blogger explained that summer heat is typically eased by heavy rainfall. But in recent years, the subtropical high-pressure belt has shifted about 5 latitudes north compared to 30 years ago. This has left China's eastern and central regions, along with other parts of Eurasia at similar latitudes, under the long-term control of powerful sinking air currents. As a result, fewer clouds form in the sky, the sun directly scorches the ground, and heat rapidly accumulates. Meanwhile, descending air compresses and heats up as it sinks, creating warm airflows that further bake the surface. This has led to a heat dome effect, where rising heat is trapped by high-pressure air above, and forced back down, effectively creating an invisible ceiling over cities and turning them into giant sealed saunas. Even the Arctic Circle wasn't spared. Alaska issued a high-temperature warning as well, as the sun remains overhead for longer during northern hemisphere summers, leading to increased heat buildup. Faced with global warming, some argue it's not entirely bad news. With temperatures rising steadily every year, it's predicted that in the coming decades, global temperatures will climb even higher. One direct consequence will be rising sea levels. According to Le Parisien, sea levels could rise by 20 to 80 centimeters within this century, putting many coastal areas at risk of submersion. High temperatures will also disrupt global atmospheric circulation patterns. Extreme summer heat could push further north into China's northeast, with the subtropical high-pressure zone continuing to shift upward and the rainfall belt moving along with it. In the future, China's climate may evolve into a pattern of hot and dry in the south, warm and rainy in the north. This shift could threaten crop yields in southern regions but might actually benefit the country's northwest. Data from China's National Meteorological Center shows that over the past 60 years, the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau has warmed by about 2.3 degrees C, with significant increases in rainfall. This year, Xinjiang experienced an unusual 5-day stretch of continuous summer rain, setting a new local record. In the long run, northern China may become a new land of plenty, with agricultural conditions greatly improving in major grain-producing areas like Henan, northeast China, and Inner Mongolia, and vast deserts could even begin transforming into green oases.